Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
It's 5 o'clock, and I'm Alice Monroe with your August update. August police are appealing for information following the murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Miss Shaw's body was discovered last night. Chief DuPont is calling the crime a violent and despicable act. Anyone with information about the murder is urged to get in touch via the department's confidential tip hotline. It's horrible, Poe.
Indeed it is.
You need to learn when to keep your mouth shut. Exactly. Rewind.
You're listening to Radio August. Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
It's 5 o'clock, and I'm Alice Monroe with your August update. August police are appealing for information following the murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Miss Shaw's body was discovered last night. Chief DuPont is calling the crime a violent and despicable act. Anyone with information about the murder is urged to get in touch via the department's confidential tip hotline. It's horrible, Poe.
Indeed it is.
You need to learn when to keep your mouth shut. Exactly. Rewind.
You're listening to Radio August. Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
It's 5 o'clock, and I'm Alice Monroe with your August update. August police are appealing for information following the murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Miss Shaw's body was discovered last night. Chief DuPont is calling the crime a violent and despicable act. Anyone with information about the murder is urged to get in touch via the department's confidential tip hotline. It's horrible, Poe.
Indeed it is.
You need to learn when to keep your mouth shut. Exactly. Rewind.
You're listening to Radio August. Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
It's 5 o'clock, and I'm Alice Monroe with your August update. August police are appealing for information following the murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Miss Shaw's body was discovered last night. Chief DuPont is calling the crime a violent and despicable act. Anyone with information about the murder is urged to get in touch via the department's confidential tip hotline. It's horrible, Poe.
Indeed it is.
You need to learn when to keep your mouth shut. You know why you're here, don't you? The dead girl. And this. What exactly were you thinking? You have one job. Don't get caught. Do you think you can do that this time? It's a rhetorical question. You're going to a town called August. Find Chief DuPont. He's gonna think you're someone else. This person. This is who you are now. Understood? Splendid. If someone so much as sniffs that you're different, you'll be deprecated.
Deprecated.
We expect you to use your ability. Just don't get caught. And never, ever change into a child.
In brighter news, August resident Mia French is celebrating the return of her missing pooch, Barley. The 8-month-old Basset Hound puppy was found outside Daryl's Chicken and Ribs.
And that's 5 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
I'm Violet. Welcome to the guest house. There are some rules. In particular, no shoes in the guest house. The carpets are priceless. Now, how long are you staying for? Yes, the chief said it may be a while. I can see you don't mind getting your hands dirty, though. There's not been many visitors of late. Perhaps the murder will bring some tourists in. It's just you and some tarot readers at the moment. It's deathly quiet. Yes, the murder. You haven't spoken to the chief yet, have you? Chief DuPont. He's the one who booked the room for you. You look lost. You should probably go and speak to the chief. Your room is just down the hall, last on the left. It has its own back door. The chief said that's the way you'd like it.
Just finishing. Yeah, it's a big place. Hi, I'm Bronwyn. Pleased to meet you, Sam. If you'd like a reading. That sounds super. I'm in room 1 and that's down the hall. Lorraine's in 2, Lexi's in 3. And which room are you in, Sam? Good. We're neighbours. Just knock if you need me.
His head hits the angled stone with such force his eyes bulge. Blood pools behind him and in his mouth. "You're mine now," the girl says, and reaches her hand.
Good, you got my message. Chief Inspector DuPont. I wasn't sure you'd come, but I suppose you're between jobs? Well, we both know that's not true. But I like it. Sam, that's your cover now. So, the job. Dorota Shaw, 21, accomplished cellist, redhead. Strangled. I know who did it, but I need proof. It's the tarot readers. Yes. Keep up, Sam. That's the girl who was murdered? Because they predicted it. The older one, Bronwyn, she came into my office last night talking all crazy and saying Dorota was in trouble. I did my best not to lock her up. It all sounded crazy to me. Tarot, the spirit world, cards that move, trans-dimensional thingamajigs. To be honest, I thought she'd probably been smoking something, and that's why I didn't take it seriously. Because things, I don't have enough on her. That's where you come in. The free guest house stay isn't free. I need you to work the case and report back to me. Find out things from the inside. Can you do it? Oh, okay. Well, that's that then. I thought you'd want a shot at redemption, but I guess you're turning yourself in. It's what you want, isn't it, Sam? To stop running? To give up? Didn't think so. I'll be telling everyone that you've been hired by the Shaws because obviously local law enforcement is either too incompetent or too overworked to solve anything. That gives you a license to talk to people, but only notionally. Don't actually touch people or annoy them. You don't have any real authority, understand? But you help me out, I'll help you. You don't get that. There's no badge and gun, just a hope and a promise. Come and find me when you're settled. This is Second Chance Sunday for you, Sam. Don't blow it. What do you want to know? She was a cellist, selected for a scholarship at Juilliard. It was in the local paper. I'm more of a Bon Jovi fan myself. Don't read the paper, do you? Yesterday, Monday the 9th at approximately 9 p.m, according to the coroner, we got a call from the mother just after 10 p.m. In her bedroom. She was naked. Strangled. No signs of sexual activity of any kind. It was a weird scene to look at. There was one thing, but it's strictly between you and me. Dorota had a gold coin in her mouth. I'm being serious now, Sam. Not a word of this. It's the one thing only the killer would know. Born here, runs the local guest house. Lovely lady. Where are you going with this, Sam? What's she told you? Look, if it's about the pills, I already know.
If you stop doing everything that you do, you'd attract their attention.
Yeah, because they're busy. They're busy in his dream, aren't they?
They are, and you said that the sharks don't seem to notice you because you're just carrying on as normal. But Marek, what I'd like to say to you is that maybe you're worrying too much about these negative people. If what you're doing is a positive thing, then you should always be receiving positive things in return. If they're a negative person, you don't necessarily need to give them.
I assume you've been to see Chief DuPont already? Not really. I'm sure she was a precious lamb, though. Yes, a lamb. Young. Innocent. Lambs get slaughtered, though, don't they? Nice, yes, that's a good description. Actually, I thought she was a bit slutty, to be honest. Sorry. I'm gossiping. I don't want to talk ill of the dead. Ask her boyfriend. Oscar lives at the vicarage next to the church. Don't tell him I sent you, though. I'm sure he's sick of seeing people already. They're tarot readers. I'm thinking of asking them to leave, actually. Because they may have killed someone. It's not great for my reputation, is it? Stay at Violet's, the home of killers and hobos. It's not the first time I've harboured killers, Sam. I'm sure it won't be the last. It's the strangest thing. I honestly don't remember. But I imagine I was here or getting groceries somewhere. I've driven by it, never actually been in it.
cracking of skull, blood and feathers on the ground. It was kinder that way. The kitchen was quiet. The small, heaped body on the mat by the cat flap didn't seem to be moving. These were all good signs. White fur.
Sam, is it? I'm sensing you're not here for a reading. Chief Dupont thinks I did it. I'm hoping you'll convince him otherwise. All I'm asking is that you dig a little deeper than the Chief. I had nothing to do with Dorota's death. We saw danger in the cards and we tried to stop it. Trust me, Sam, we're on the same team. In my room, reading, I found a trashy romance novel under the bed. I'm assuming it's Violet's. It's all swooning heroines and brooding vampire Casanovas. Thank God Lexi saved me. She came to my room to chat for a little while. That was around 9, I think. You can ask her. I said the book was trashy. Look at this place. If her guest house is anything to go by, Violet's the opposite of trashy. We saw it in the cards, not images, feelings, impressions. Tarot can be very powerful. Not these cards. They only tell us what they want us to know.
Hill as he lifted it, unveiling the bloody mess he'd made, and he quickly replaced it, shutting his eyes hard to try to erase the sight. It didn't work, of course. Ivan slumped to the floor as Uni padded over.
Hi, Sam, is it? Come on in, make yourself at home. Mi casa es su casa. Come on. I don't know anyone in this town, except for Bronwyn and Rain, obviously, and Violet, and the Chief, and now you. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. Good old-fashioned fortune-telling. Well, kind of. We drew a card each and smushed them all together. Do you know what the most dangerous tarot card is? You've done your research. The happy squirrel was vague and mysterious, but not evil. The Five of Swords. I think so anyway. There's nothing more dangerous than someone taking whatever they want, no matter the cost. Yeah, I did. Rain got the Knight of Wands, that's Dorota, and Bronwyn got the Ten of Swords, which is, well, you know, swords in general are bad. The cards told us to. Well, the cards of Rain. Tarot gives us a rough direction and he narrows it down with some astrological jiggery pokery. He's basically a walking esoteric library. And if that sounds dull, let me reassure you, it is. No? Well, yeah. Well, no. We have a job to do. I didn't say job. I said job. Okay. We make a cheese obelisk, a chob, and depending on the shape of that chob, we get different answers to questions. No, you don't. She's like my big sister, so pretty well. You know the Chief's got it all wrong. Ron could never hurt anyone. But I'm sure a smart detective like you can help prove she's innocent. Really? Because she is completely innocent.
Success, but you don't feel worthy of it. And it could be you're suffering from imposter syndrome, which is actually quite a common thing to suffer from. But what I can say to you, Simeon, is that you need to start believing in yourself. It's very...
You must be a new guest. Or you're burglaring us. I'm Rain, by the way. I heard you say earlier your name's Sam. You don't look like a Sam. I didn't know her. I know she was called Dorota Shaw. She was young, had red hair, a talented musician. Next victim? Whoa! Hold on a sec, we don't even know if there's going to be a next victim or not. We'll do another group reading soon, and then we'll have a better idea. We did a reading. A group reading, actually. With a special tarot deck. But I'm pretty sure I'd get the same answers just on my own. Mercury? It's not exactly from here. With a normal tarot deck, you'd have the question, so you'd be the querent. With Mercury, it gives you the question and the answer. The cards themselves kind of change. It's a special deck. I don't have it at the moment. Bronwyn has it. I was in my room. Praying, actually. I don't believe in God, but I was still praying. It didn't work. My prayer, that the girl would be safe.
There it floated, and then it turned to face me. Run or die, the door gave way from the stumbling push, and there was a long expanse of the room. Footsteps echoed on wood, the spinal shiver of pursuit by a nightmare.
Mercury? Sure. I'll just get it. It feels a bit sacrilegious just spreading it out to show you. It doesn't really answer questions, it more asks them. Do you want it to ask you a question, Sam? There's nothing particularly special about it, apart from where it's from, what it does, and how it behaves.
The vision vanished, and an alternative to death was offered. It wouldn't eat me, at least for now. It needed help with its care.
Hi, I'm Lexi. I'm Lexi.
And street life took their toll on her market value, until she ended up in the clutches of the entity in an...
What's up, Lexi? I'm sensing something's on your mind.
I'm worried about our alibi.
Don't worry about that. We don't have anything to hide. I'm more worried about Ray. Since when did he start praying?
You think he's lying?
Of course not. This is Rain we're talking about. I was just saying it's odd, that's all. Maybe he's found God?
But had other uses for me. Spidery fingers wrenched open my jaw, fingers with far too many segments which
Something's weird, isn't it? Ron seems strange today.
How are you?
Do you think Dorota was planning on marrying Oscar?
What makes you say that?
Well, nothing. It's just something I thought I saw. It doesn't matter.
up into my nasal cavity, and then up further until it was crawling inside my brain. Panic, panic! And gradually, as the worm settled, panic made way for dread. The worm was inside my skull, inside my brain.
Find somewhere safe to transition. You're not a superhero.
Hi, I'm Bronwyn.
Relayed my thoughts through the worm. A new life with the bag lady's worm inside my brain. Small talk with the servers at the restaurant. Not this one, the worm had to be told incessantly. Not these ones, the worm had to be told as people strolled past on the sidewalk.
Bron, something doesn't feel right. I don't know what exactly, but it's not right.
Thoughts on Dorota?
Well, it's hard to say with just one victim. Musical talent, red hair. If there's another, there will be a pattern. Do you think it's another right?
A right?
As in the same thing we were chasing after in Birmingham? I suppose it doesn't really matter. Just have to try and stop it.
Stop it? Birmingham?
The Traveller? Dead Girls? Ring any bells?
Traveller?
If it follows the same pattern as Birmingham, we're looking at 2 more victims.
Or the worm said. Or somehow both, together. A jingle of coins, a handful of change to buy him a coffee, and a conversation. A talk about his life, and to find that his name was George.
Ron, are you okay?
I'm not okay.
Well, if you're worried, I should be worried. Why are you worried? Should I be worried?
Are you worried?
Only if you are. This could go on in circles for a while. Let's just keep cool and stay in our rooms.
It was a great place he could sleep. Better than the street or the shelters. A building with a vacant penthouse. George wanted to know if I was the owner. So I said yes.
Is there something I can help with, Miss Castle?
I hope we're not being too much trouble.
It's very brave of you to tell the chief that Dorota will be murdered and then stick around afterwards. I'd have run for sure.
You strike me as someone braver than that. Why would I run?
You're prime suspect, aren't you? You look strong enough to strangle another woman. Even if you're innocent, a jury would probably convict you.
Even if I'm innocent? You look...
Well, if you can't pay for your rooms, we might just find out.
Dreams
And nightmares.
with
Hi, Hi, I'm Chief DuPont.
home. And then the cashier makes her put everything back on the shelves, but it never ends. And every time she comes back to the car...
Who knows whether you've made the right decision or not, Claude?
How's Bronwyn been?
Claude, we've been through this. I honestly don't remember. I checked my diary and there's no entry, so I was probably here, as always.
How can you not remember, Violet?
I don't know. Which is exactly what I said in my statement. Don't try and get me to contradict myself.
How's Bronwyn been?
Overly nice. She's covering her tracks well if she has.
What was it I asked you to do again?
You just told me to report back to you if I noticed anything suspicious. Good grief, Claude, you're a bit young to be losing your marbles already.
So Gabby, what you're having dreams about here, so it's your grocery shopping. So that in particular is a physical need for life. So what we're also dealing with here is the loss of money. What you'll often find with dreams is that the loss of money actually relates to a loss of self-identity. So Poe was very close with what he was...
Chief Dupont, what a pleasant surprise. I think we've covered just about everything twice over, but if you think I'm hiding something...
Who are you really, Bronwyn Castle?
Does it bother you, Chief Dupont, knowing there are things in this world that aren't black and white? You don't know what to file me under, and that makes you uncomfortable. Or perhaps you've already made up your mind about me. Why don't you tell me who you think I am?
You're a con artist.
I haven't asked anyone for a penny.
Yes, Alice, and I think it's a lot of food for thought for this listener, and I hope she takes some wonderful lessons from it.
Thank you for your dreams.
You're listening to Radio August.
Oh, Chief Inspector, you gave me a shock. What is it? What have I done?
Tell me about Bronwyn.
She's an Aquarius, her favourite colour is green. What else do you need to know?
Is she your leader? Are you
Jail? What for? I haven't done anything wrong.
aiding and abetting a criminal?
I'll aid and abet Bronwyn to the day I die, but she's not a criminal.
Why are you here in August?
Well, it's not for the nightlife, I can tell you that. This is where the cards told us to go. I guess you could call it destiny.
Do you know anyone here?
No, I can honestly swear I don't know any Augustines until we got here.
What were you doing last night?
Nothing. I mean, I was here all night. This cat's on a Bron can vouch for me.
I could just run and, God forgive me, leave her there to be someone else's problem. But...
Good evening, Chief Dupont.
Dorota's family, what does the tarot say about them?
I can do a reading, if you want.
Yes.
It's the Five of Cups. It talks about loss and dealing with that loss. I don't think you need a tarot reader to interpret that one.
Bronwyn never been arrested?
Not since I've met her. She's a lawful good type character, if you play D&D.
Lexi ever been in trouble with the police?
No. Not to my knowledge. She's sweet and innocent. Or haven't you picked up on that yet?
Door open as I cautiously walked back towards a body that lay unnaturally twisted atop the pavement. I wanted to say I was breathing, but in all honesty, I think I was holding my breath, afraid to get a whiff of death.
Hello, I'm Rain.
Of me, as if ready to catch myself when I inevitably passed out. I took a deep breath and lowered myself to the ground. Miss? My voice cracked.
Ray, I'm busy. You gonna turn yourself in?
Yeah. No.
Then you're wasting my time.
Up into the sky. I saw her chest rise and fall. She was breathing, short and shallow breaths, but she was breathing. I looked her over. Her face was partially covered in bloody hair. I clasped my hand over hers, reassuring her as she lightly squeezed my hand. I spoke to her. Call for help. Just please, don't die. I tried to...
Have you met the new detective yet? We're basically under 24-hour surveillance now.
Do you think Sam's onto us?
Onto what exactly?
The real reason we're here.
Sam's not a mind reader. At least I don't think so. Just try not to let anything slip.
I was telling her. Where did this happen? I looked down at the girl as her chest stopped rising. Her eyes didn't blink, and she no longer gripped my hand. I was gripping hers. I knew she was dead, but I still clung to her hand.
Rain, I'm so worried about Bronwyn. What are we going to do?
Why are you worried about Bronwyn?
The chief thinks she killed Dorota.
Maybe she did kill Dorota.
That's not even funny, Rain. Bronwyn's the least murdery person we know. Okay, let's say she did do it. What possible reason could she have for killing Dorota?
Psychopathic tendencies? Crime of passion?
Maybe. Maybe Bronwyn and Dorota were secretly lovers, and Bronwyn found out that Dorota was seeing someone else and killed her in a jealous fit of rage. Or maybe that's just another one of your twisted late-night fantasies, in which case, leave me out of it.
Let down the last 3 stairs and nearly killed myself as I jumped over the family dog sleeping in the kitchen doorway. I opened the door from the kitchen to the garage. I was still on the floor, wiping my eyes as I saw the familiar red and blue lights reflecting through my kitchen window. This should be a fun thing to explain. I pulled myself to my feet and headed towards the door, ready to show the officers my car and prove that it wasn't real, just a vivid dream. But my stomach dropped as I opened the door. It had only been moments since I'd made the call. There was no way they made it out to my house that fast. I watched them walk up the driveway and see their mouths moving.
I take clozapine. I think they're for anxiety. I'm a very anxious person. I don't know, Dr. Sam, you tell me.
Tightly.
Welcome to Poe's Curiosity Shop. Okay, Alice, this is what I brought in today. What do you think it is?
Oh, wow.
Tell the listeners a bit more about what the object is that I brought.
It's in the palm of your hand, and it's a small man wearing robes, and he looks like he's in quite a lot of pain.
Yes. Where could he be from, this man?
I'm not sure, actually. He's maybe a Buddhist?
Yeah, could be, yes.
Um,
What would you say is his profession?
Something religious, I suppose. He's wearing robes. He's wearing a monk, yes.
Well done.
But why is he in pain?
Very good question. I can answer that for you. It's a porcelain figure, ancient Chinese. Accidentally glimpsed Queen Anchisenamun undressing, the wife of King Tut. The king ordered that Busan be shrunk by mystics, and the process caused the pain you see on his face. These tattoos are a reminder that some things are best left unseen. Several were made, apparently. But as far as I can tell, I have the only one.
Well, I wish I hadn't seen this.
Poe's Curiosity Shop is now closed. Welcome to Poe's Curiosity Shop. There you go, Alice. What's this object? What do you think?
Well, it's quite heavy, and it feels like I think perhaps it's metal of some sort. It's like an Asian animal, but I'm not sure.
What animal do you think it might be?
It's perhaps a Chinese dragon?
Not quite a dragon.
Or a lion with wings?
You're right.
A winged lion?
Lion dog, actually.
Oh, right. Of course.
You were right about Asian, a Chinese bronze lion dog statue.
With wings.
With wings. One of a pair originally donated to August Public Library by Lord Worthing, but later sold to raise funds. The library burned down 3 weeks after their sale. Would you believe it?
Wow.
They normally come in pairs and have many uses, but when used correctly in a pair, its feng shui guards against evil.
Oh, wow.
That's what can happen when you sell something that guards against evil.
I think I'd quite like to have a guard against evil.
Particularly in August at the moment. Poe's Curiosity Shop is now closed. You're listening to Radio August, Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
The Catch. Read by John Mark Clausen. Ivan was woken by the crowing of his cat. This was nothing new. He opened his eyes to find Uni standing on his chest, her mottled face inches from his, her demanding purr drilling into his ribcage through her paws. He lifted a numb hand and rubbed her cheek. "Sleep," he whispered. It was a hopeful plea, feebly delivered. Uni's reply, a loud and indignant meow, was an order. This could only mean one thing. Ivan sat up, scooped Uni to the floor, and pulled on a t-shirt. She waited for him to stand, then led him down to the kitchen, herding his slow bare feet in dangerously tight circles. Uni was a hunter, and experience told Ivan she'd got something to show him. He hoped it was a mouse or a vole. At least they were always dead. He'd had too many stunned, lopsided sparrows flapping around his kitchen. One robin, several blackbirds, usually downy fledglings with wide beaks and tails that hadn't even grown yet. Last time, she caught a magpie. It was bigger than her body, yet she still picked it up to present.
Welcome to Poe's Curiosity Shop. Alright, so what have we here today?
I actually think this one's a little bit clearer than other ones we've had on previous shows. This one is also heavy, because everything seems to be made out of wood and metal. So this one has got